What's up, co-reporters, and welcome back to my channel. I've got some rather interesting news about Love is Blind as season five's only married couple, Lydia and Milton, that just might surprise you. You see, we just watched a Love is Blind reunion episode that aired on Sunday. It was only filmed a couple weeks before it aired, yet somehow it never came up that Milton and Lydia are currently involved in a long distance marriage. See, I recapped the reunion episode with my friend Kempire. Make sure to check out that recap if you haven't seen it yet. But we talked about how it felt like there were so many things missing. For example, the footage of the final fight between Lydia and Aaliyah, where Lydia told Aaliyah F you because Aaliyah told her, listen, if Uche and I don't end up getting engaged, you can have him. And now it doesn't make sense to me why that wouldn't have been brought up, because I do find it to be rather interesting. As for why the two of them are in a long distance marriage right now, here's exactly what Lydia had to say to Entertainment Weekly. She said, and I quote, right now we're really focused on our careers. I got a new job, it just started a month ago. He has a new job and he's been there for a year, but he just got relocated to Long Beach. We're trying to get used to this new schedule, and he's also doing his MBA. So Milton actually already has a master's degree, but now he's working on an MBA, which is a master's of business degree. And yes, you heard that right. Milton, while he's doing all that stuff, is living in Long Beach, California, while Lydia is living in Houston, Texas, which is where they met and fell in love on the show. So, as for how the two of them are managing to make this long distance situation work in their very young marriage and relationship, here's what she had to say. We just miss each other so much. So every second that we have together, we try to really cherish it and try to be there as much as we can for each other when we are actually in the same place. Right now, we're limited. The challenge is just traveling in airports. I hate airports so much, but besides that, it's been amazing. We really miss each other, and it just makes you even love each other more. It's so good to have him here when you come from work instead of being alone. It's your best friend, so obviously you want to see them all the time. And for whatever reason, like I don't know if this journalist is an undercover like op, aka Vanessa, but they decided to ask Lydia if she and Milton were planning to have any kids soon. And it seems like such a ridiculous question for a couple that literally just met each other. They've been married for the exact amount of time that they've known each other, pretty much, which is a year and a half. Milton, he's living in a different state to Lydia. He's a student right now working on his MBA. So a normal person with common sense wouldn't even think to ask if they're planning to have kids soon. But for whatever reason, and even outside of that, like I thought that we realize these days that it's just not a cool question to be asking people. It's a rather hurtful and intrusive question. Yet here we are still asking these disgusting questions to people. They asked if they're going to introduce the first ever Love is Blind baby, and Lydia says that it's too soon to be thinking about that. We're not there. We're not in our full potential yet. But yes, it's in our plans to form a family, have a baby. That'll come along the way. She says that she and Milton are still so in love. And she wishes that like more fun and positive aspects of their relationship were shown on the show. I always said in my recaps of the episode that their relationship seemed to be rather negative with all the age jokes and then the jokes about her not being able to speak English. To me, these things kind of rub me the wrong way. It's not the kind of humor that I like. And she says that they like to do pranks and other things that are like more positive than critiquing each other. And she wishes that that were shown. But again, I just want to say I feel like it's really, really out of line to ask uh, these people what when they're having babies, this, that, and the other. Like they just met, you guys. Like stop. And then when you've got other couples that have been together for longer, for example, Lauren and Cameron, Amber and Barnett, it might be a sore spot for them, right? The reason why they don't have kids yet, or this, that, or the other. Like it just, it's just never a good idea. So I really hope that they stop asking these questions in the future. You would think that they would back off after all the backlash that Vanessa Lachey had been getting since last season, and actually even the season before that, of just like constantly trying to pressure people into having the first Love is Blind baby. But I digress. I guess some people just want to catch a little bit of that smoke as well. Anyway, you guys, that's the tea. I just wanted to share with you what I had learned about them being in a long distance marriage. And I want to know what you guys think about that. Are you surprised to hear that Lydia and Milton are split up for the time being? She didn't mention whether or not Milton would be coming back to Houston or if she was working towards going to Long Beach. But I guess that's stuff that we'll find out later on. Again, I don't know why this was not brought up on the reunion. The reunion was super duper skimpy. So it's not like they were, they had so much to cover that they didn't get time to cover this.